Hi, my name is Thea Montanez, and I am a proud member of the Hartford Public Library's Board of Directors. I've served on the board since 2008. I'm also a Hartford native and have been very active in the Hartford community for over 10 years. I also have the pleasure of volunteering with the Lifers Group at Cheshire Correctional Institution. So recently I co-produced a photo exhibit called The Road Not Taken. I co-produced it with Eriberto Deleon, who is serving a 60-year sentence at Cheshire Correctional Institution. He's a member of the Lifers Group, and he is also my cousin. The both of us were raised together, and I consider him my brother. So Eddie has been serving 24 years, and probably within the past year or so, in conversations that we were having, I really felt that there was an opportunity for us to do a project together. I wanted to give him a voice. I wanted to give the other men their voice. The Lifers Group themselves are committed to supporting each other's rehabilitation and righting their wrongs, and unfortunately they don't necessarily always have the space to do that. So Eddie and I one day brainstormed and came up with this concept of sharing the stories of the Lifers Group by taking childhood photos and having each of the men write a response to where they were at that particular point in their lives. And so that's really how the project started. I like to refer to it as do-it-yourself social impact. There wasn't a big committee involved. It was really me and Eddie, and despite him being unable to do certain things, I think between the both of us we figured it out. So internally, at Cheshire, he was able to mobilize again himself and the others in the Lifers Group, and then on the outside I was able to talk to some of my own friends and colleagues and try to figure out how we could make this thing happen. One of the most popular questions I receive after people view the exhibit is, what is it that you want people to take away from the experience of having seen these profiles? And, I really want to challenge people's perceptions or misperceptions of those that have committed crimes, even violent crimes, and really start this conversation and this understanding about that, we are more than the worst things we've ever done. And so, the first time that the exhibit was shown was just a couple months ago at Chrysalis Center in Hartford. They do quite a bit with those folks that are returning back into community after having served their sentence. And at that time, coincidentally, the library was just beginning to create programming around this year's Book One Hartford, which is James Baldwin, If Beale Street Could Talk. And so the timing was perfect, and especially given what's been transpiring in the state of Connecticut, especially with the creation of the Second Chance Society and the repeal of the death penalty. It just seems like a natural opportunity to partner up with HPL and to bring the exhibit to the downtown branch. And so when I think about the book itself and what I was hoping to accomplish with the photo exhibit, there's a lot of connection. The story itself talks about despair and hope, and I think that's something that's really real for those men that participated in this photo exhibit. If you haven't seen the exhibit, I strongly encourage you to come downtown to the library on Main Street and check it out for yourself. Bring friends, colleagues. It's a great discussion piece. I have had the most transformative conversations with people who have seen the exhibit and after the fact really talked about how their own belief systems were somehow influenced or informed by the stories of these 17 men, many of these men from the city of Hartford. So, I ask you to come out, check it out, and come to your own conclusions and decide if we are really more than the worst things we've ever done.